Khabib Nurmagomedov is widely considered one of the most dominant fighters in the history of mixed martial arts. Ma'am. A. Known for his relentless grappling, unmatched discipline, and undefeated professional record of 29 wins and 0 losses, Khabib became a global symbol of dominance, humility, and mental toughness. Khabib was born on September 20, 1988 in the mountainous region of Dagestan, Russia. He came from an Avar Muslim family deeply connected to combat sports and traditional wrestling. From childhood, he trained under his father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, a legendary coach who shaped Khabib into a disciplined warrior. One famous story from his childhood shows his fearless nature. As a young boy, Khabib wrestled a bear as part of traditional training exercises in Dagestan. The footage later became iconic and symbolized the toughness of his upbringing. Dagestan harsh environment produced fighters known for endurance wrestling and resilience. Khabib mastered wrestling, sambo, judo, grappling. His father built a strict training system focused on discipline, humility, and mental strength rather than fame. Khabib began professional MMA in 2008 and quickly destroyed opponents across regional promotions. His fighting style was unlike most fighters at the time. What made Khabib different? Most fighters specialized in striking or submissions. Khabib combined elite wrestling pressure, endless stamina, ground control, brutal pace, psychological dominance. Once he grabbed opponents, escaping became nearly impossible. He would take opponents down, trap them against the cage, exhaust them physically and mentally, punish them with pressure and strikes, force submissions, or dominate rounds completely. This became known as smash fighting, overwhelming pressure that broke opponents mentally. C. Career. Khabib joined the Ultimate Fighting Championship in 2012 and immediately looked unstoppable. He defeated elite fighters including Rafael dos Anjos, Edson Barboza, Michael Johnson, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor. Many opponents entered the cage, confident but left exhausted, frustrated, and dominated. The rivalry between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor became one of the biggest in combat sports history. The feud was deeply personal. McGregor insulted Khabib family religion, and country tensions exploded during press conferences and media events. Fans around the world viewed it as more than a fight. At UFC 229 in 2018, Khabib dominated McGregor with wrestling and pressure before submitting him in the 4th round. The fight broke pay-per-view records and turned Khabib into a global superstar. After the victory, emotions exploded and a post-fight brawl occurred, creating one of the most controversial moments in UFC history. Undefeated record. Khabib retired with 29 wins, 0 losses. Very few fighters retire undefeated at the highest level of MMA. Even legendary champions eventually lose due to age, injuries, tough competition, declining reflexes. Khabib never lost, even more impressive. He lost very few rounds in his entire career. Many opponents looked helpless against him. No one truly solved his wrestling system. His dominance was not based on luck or close decisions. He often controlled fights from start to finish. Fighting style and dominance. Khabib's style was terrifying because it combined physical pressure, technique, cardio, mental warfare. The Dagestani handcuff. One of his famous techniques involved trapping an opponent's wrist while controlling them on the ground, preventing escape and allowing non-stop punishment. Cage wrestling. He used the cage as a weapon, pinning opponents, limiting movement, draining energy, mental pressure. Opponents often became exhausted simply trying to survive his grappling attacks. By later rounds, many fighters looked defeated mentally before the fight even ended. Legacy. Khabib Nurmagomedov is considered one of the greatest lightweight fighters ever. One of the greatest grapplers in MMA history. One of the most dominant champions in UFC history. Why Khabib became a legend. Khabib legend comes from more than being undefeated. He represented discipline over ego, pressure over flashy techniques, mental strength over fear, loyalty to family and tradition. In a sport filled with chaos and unpredictability, Khabib achieved something incredibly rare: complete dominance without defeat. That is why many fans see him as one of MMA greatest warriors, a fighter who entered the cage 29 times and never truly looked conquerable. Khabib Nurmagomedov was more than a fighter. He became a symbol of discipline, honor, faith, mental strength, absolute dominance. In a sport where defeat is inevitable, he remained unconquered, and long after the cheers fade, long after the cage doors close, the legend of the undefeated eagle will remain forever. 29 wins, 0 losses. Undisputed, unbroken legends never die.